Hi, Girl Scouts. It's Miss Candace here, Girl Experience Manager for Girl Scouts of Central California South. Here to show you two really fun knots that are useful, and I bet you will have a lot of fun practicing. So in your package, you should have a set of cards that look like this. So this one says square knot, and another card that looks like this. It says lark's head knot. Yeah, look familiar? So that's what you're going to need for today. You're also going to need the 3 lengths of rope that were in your bag. Okay, so two are probably colored and one is probably just a white rope like that. So we're actually going to start with the square knot. So the square knot is a really great classic knot to learn. And here's the joke. You ready? It's not that hard. Okay, I can see one of you laughing. Okay, making me feel better. Well, truth be told, knots are one of those skills that you learn and then you have to practice. Raise your hand if you learned how to tie your shoes the very first time somebody showed you. No one? No one? Me either. It's like tying your shoes. Someone shows you, you try it, not quite get it quite right. You try it again, and then you try again, and they show you again, and eventually you're going to get it. But without the practice, it's kind of hard to learn. So those 2 lengths of rope that are colored, that's what you're going to need. I actually just went ahead and tied this in a real quick knot. I will show you that one if you want to. It's not really anything in particular, but we're going to use this card. Now at the top it says square knot. Square knots are used primarily to join 2 ropes, cords, or lines of similar thickness. So a good way to remember why you would use a square knot is if your rope wasn't long enough and you wanted to be able to tie 2 ropes together. Well, that could happen, especially if you're camping. Maybe you need to stretch a clothesline. You want that rope to be tight enough to hold something, but you want to be able to get it apart eventually, like when you're going home. So the reason why you have these 2 holes here in your square knot card is that's how we're going to work on the square knot first. So we're going to put 1 length of rope through the hole, another length of rope through the hole, and we're going to follow the directions that are on the card. Now, some people will say over, under, over, right? If you look at the card, it looks like you cross you're crossing it over. So you see that part? Crossing it over, we match it with the picture. And then it looks like one goes under and one goes over, okay? So over, under, over, under. Do you see what that looks like? Okay, so that's what we're saying when we say over, under. Okay, so overlap the right string over the left string. So that's what we did there. Let me see if I can scoot that out just a little bit. Is that better? Okay. And then what do? Let's read the card. Then tuck it under and pull. This is really hard to read upside down. I'm so sorry. Overlap the right string over the left string, then tuck it under and pull. Okay, so let me undo that so I can show you. Then tuck it under and pull. Okay, so we're going to pull both of these like that. Okay. Now we're like to that step right there. Now let's read step 2. Repeat, but this time lay the left string over the right. Okay, so the left string over the right. So just do that. And then what? Then tuck it in and pull tight. Let's see. So that's one square knot. Now we're going to work on the other side. I'm going to untie these two. Okay. You ready? Okay. So you're going to put the right string over the left, and you're going to tuck it under. You tuck it over. I think I'm okay. Then you're going to tie it tight. And then you're going to do the opposite. You're going to put the left over the right. And then you're going to tuck it under. And then we're going to pull it. Can we do it backwards? So I don't know if I can see it backwards. Hold on a moment. There we go. I knew I had done it. I just couldn't get it to go. There we go. So when you're looking at your square knots, it's not laying very well, but that's okay. Square knot, square knot. So you're going to need to practice this one quite a bit. The good news is you've got your card right here with the instructions and 2 holes. All right. So let's work on this lark's head. Now, let's say we're horseback riding. And we want to take a break from horseback riding. We need to tie our horses up, but we don't want to tie them up forever, but we really don't want them to get away. A lark's head knot is perfect for that. So you should have this card out and your white piece of rope. And the card says, a lark's head knot can be used for attaching just about anything to a fixed object. This knot is unique because you can use it with complete loops or just rubber bands. Okay, so the instructions say we fold the rope in half. So this is the rope. We fold it in half, right? Okay. Fold it in half, slide the folded string under the horizontal object you're attaching it to, reach under the loop and over the horizontal object and grasp the 2 loose strands, bringing them down through the loop. Okay, so if I were just reading that, that would be kind of confusing, so let me show you. So let's pretend we have the end of, this is the rope that's attached to our horse, our horse lead. So we can take a length of the rope and fold the end, just like the instructions say. And let's pretend like this popsicle stick is our post. We want to tie our horsey up to the post. So we're going to put that fold underneath the post. And we're going to take these two dangly strings, and we're going to put them through the loop. Just like that. And now we're going to pull those 2 strings really tight. Tighten them up. Okay. Now we've attached our horsey and he can move around. Oops. I broke the post. See, this is why you've got to be strong. You can break posts and stuff. So there we go. We don't want anybody. Okay, so you've attached your horse to the post and you didn't rip it out of the card. Now we've had lunch, we've had our break. The horsey's had a break from taking a ride. Now we want to untie it, right? So to untie it, we're going to pull this loop down a little bit to loosen it, and we're going to pull those 2 strings out, and there you go. That's your lark's head. So one more time. Fold your rope in half. Slide it under the post, just like that. Or your other, object. It could be a pole, something else. A bumper. Don't tie a horse to a bumper. I feel like that's bad. Okay, you're gonna put your 2 strings through the loop. You're gonna pull it nice and tight. And that is your lark's head. So we're actually going to continue to have different series of videos on here, but what I will do also is link the GSUSA knots tying series on here. So once you get through with the square knot and the lark's head and you're like, but I want to know more, those are really great videos and they'll help you start to explore more knots that are not too hard. All right. Well, I will be back and I promise not to bring those jokes. All right. Bye, girls.